Test, test, test.
It's time for the Commissioner's Corner, an exclusive weekly conversation about Indiana high school sports with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. Now for an up-to-the-minute report about what's happening in the constantly changing world of high school sports, here's Coach Bob Lovell with Commissioner Paul Neidig.
Welcome back, everyone, to our first edition of this year's Commissioner's Corner, our weekly conversation with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. And Commissioner, that time of year, Friday night, first week of high school football. Fall sports have already begun in earnest around our state, and it's a great time of year. It's a celebration, quite frankly, of being back in school around coaches and teammates and getting ready for what we hope will be an exciting and safe and injury-free season in IHSAA sports.
Yeah, Bob, it's just like it's welcome back. It's we've been working hard to come back, and when I say we, I'm talking about student athletes and coaches. You know, everybody has been hard at it this summer, and plans have been made since the last game was played last year to be able to come back and join their team, get the uniforms out of the closet, put the new ones on if they got new ones, or get the ones from last year and they have the school name on them, and they're going to show up and they're going to play, and they're going to do what students have done in this state since 1904, and they're going to play, and they're going to play hard for their communities.
So a little different this time around. While COVID is still of concern to all of us, it seems to have lessened in its severity, but I know you're still very vigilant and diligent in your pursuit as an association, as a member institutions, to make sure everyone's safe.
That's exactly right, and we do want safety, but you know, and our coaches, like we say, they do a great job looking after their student athletes, as any teacher would in the classroom. And the classroom can be math, or it can be football, or it can be soccer, but it happens to have, you know, it's still with great mentors working with kids.
Well, that's exactly what it's about. You know, first round of football, man, oh man, it doesn't seem possible that we're actually playing football coming up on Friday night.
It doesn't, you know, and I was just with the staff a moment ago, and we're sitting there trying to map out who's going where this week. And, you know, we read the media reports just like everybody else does. And then we listen to who's going to be good, or who how the prognosticators have put this season together already. And we're excited to see how that all materializes throughout the year. But, yeah, we're going to get out and watch some high school football this week. Assistant Commissioner Falkins is ready to go. I know that.
We also have a complete schedule on the fall sports. You know, cross country, volleyball, soccer, tennis. In addition to football. There's a lot going on for you and the member institutions, and that's what makes this so much fun, is that after all the efforts by everybody through the summer, now it comes to fruition here in the fall, and this kicks off literally and figuratively the beginning of the sports season.
And yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, we're back, and it's not, you know, like it's just not football. It's every sport in the fall. You listed them all up, and again, it's the pursuit of excellence. But the great thing is it's also an opportunity to learn along the way, and student athletes, after they complete a season with their coaches, are better than before they started, and those lessons they learn will carry them on.
Yeah, a couple of guys like you and me have had the honor of being part of sports for a long, long time, but I can think back. I think back to 2 days at Plainfield High School and remember slugging it out there with my teammates, and those are memories I cherish my entire life.
It's a bond, and you know this, Coach. I may not see one of my high school teammates for 10 years, and the moment that I walk back in their presence, it's like we never left.
Well, that's what makes it all so much fun and so worthwhile. He's the commissioner of the IHSAA. It's Paul Neidig. This is our weekly conversation about all things IHSAA related. Get out to your local, support your local student athletes, get to a game, put your money on the ticket counter, and help support those student athletes in your community. Commissioner, thanks for your time. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Coach, and looking forward to all of our segments that we're going to do throughout this year.
Thanks for listening to The Commissioner's Corner with IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig and Coach Bob Lovell. And thank you for your continued support of the high schools in your community.
What separates high school sports from other athletic programs? We keep education in front of athletics. I'm Paul Neidig, Commissioner of the IHSAA, and I'm thrilled to introduce our new Assistant Commissioner, Janie Elmer, because I know she shares the same passion for education-based athletics.
That's right, Paul. As a former principal, teacher, and Hoosier student-athlete myself, I understand firsthand how high school sports provide a complete educational experience for students.
The real benefit of playing in the second classroom of high school sports isn't just about teams becoming better athletes.
It's about them becoming better people, building character and developing the habits they need to be successful adults in life. Accountability, teamwork, respect, perseverance. These are just some of the life lessons learned on the playing field.
It's good to have another passionate advocate for education-based athletics on the team. Welcome aboard, Assistant Commissioner Elmer.
This is the second classroom. This is education-based athletics. This is your IHSAA.
Good evening, welcome to the Triton and for tonight's Varsity Volleyball action. This time our game goes to Triton. Artists lost a volleyball player over the weekend due to an accident in a car. At this time, we'd like to take 30 seconds in silence to remember her and her family. Thank you. Now, if you please face the flag, gentlemen, kindly remove your hats, as we will honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
It's on repeat.
Also want to take this time to quickly mention our popcorn raffle. All proceeds go to the Triton Athletic Department. The tickets, the drawing, will be during the halftime of the first home varsity football game this coming Friday. And you can get your tickets at the concession stand. $1 per ticket, $5 for 6 tickets, and $10 you get 13 tickets. Thank you. Now let's meet our players first. For the visitors, Rochester High School Lady Viers. Starting tonight, the libero, number 0, Riley Holloway. Number 1, Kylie Coleman. Number 6, Kennedy Lee. Number 7, Anna Sell. The speaking captain, number 16, Alexa Kusaka. Number 23, Lily Lett. And number 24, Audrey Mortimer. Rochester's head coach is Aaron Lee, assisted by Sarah Dalton, Renee Burgess, and Kayden Ramsdale. And now let's meet the starters for your big blue slam. The libero wearing number 6, Kinsey Atkins. Number 8, Macy Inslee. Triton student captain number 9, Allison Viers. Number 10, Morgan Feldman. And number 25, Lena Dahl. Triton's head coach is Eric England, assisted by Tony Margo.
All right, welcome everyone to the Trojan Trench as the Triton Trojans get ready to take on the Rochester Lady Zebras. Andy O'Hara alongside Alexa Viers, Kayden Hummitch, and the Hall of Famer Orion Lemler here for the Triton Trojan Sports Network, broadcasting live from the Trojan Trench. Out there tonight to get started for Rochester, number 0, the libero, Riley Holloway. Number 1, Kylie Coleman, out there with Kennedy Leap, number 6. Number 7, Emma Sells. Number 16, Alexa Kukusakis. Number 23, Lily Lett. And number 24, Audrey Bollinger. The group out there for Triton to start it off. We'll have Kinsey Atkins in the libero spot with Hannah Snyder, Lena Dahl, Avery, and Addison Viers. Morgan Feldman and Macy Hensley, the starting group out there for Triton here tonight. Alexa, we saw this team kind of had their ups and downs last week. You know, you start off the season with a high. You know, you defeat John Glenn, then unfortunately it's Miss Walker came here, lost in your place, and next night bounce back against Oregon Davis. They're going to have to be on their point here, tonight against Rochester.
I completely agree, and just one thing that these girls, like we talked about with the Mishawaka game, they just need to keep up the communication, because that's when they play their best, is when they know who's getting that first ball, where the setter is, and they can just be an unstoppable team if they keep up that communication.
And for me, this group, you know, in the last years past, we've seen a cohesive unit, a group that plays together. I mean, the chemistry's out there on the floor. It's got to be evident, because one thing for this group to want to make a deep run again in sectional play, you got to have that cohesive unit. You can't just, hey, we won the last 2 years. We got to now put the work in. Now we're the older group. We got to start being a little more, like I said, communicative, be better with more of a cohesive group on the floor, and let that flow speak for itself on the floor. So as Rochester gets their team all set, they're head coached by Aaron Leap. Coach Eveland out there for Triton as Kylie Coleman gets ready to serve it away. We'll get this one underway here between these two teams. 2 wins for both teams on the season. 1 loss on the board for Triton, 4 for Rochester, according to Max Preps. Kukusakis across the way there as Sells got it across. Viers slams it through the block. Nice save in the back row by Holloway. That one hits the sideline. That one's in, and Rochester strikes first. That was a good play up front. I mean, you saw Aaron Leap get a piece of that one up front, give Holloway a chance to slow it down and reset for that nice hit there we just saw. Coleman back across. Viers sets it on over to Dahl. Feldman knocks it across. Kukusakis onto the far side there to Lett. Dahl's there to stop it. Sets it back up. Viers reaches up the left hand, knocks it back. Nice way there by Coleman to bring it back into play as Holloway back across. Addison Viers goes to the back row, and Rochester can't recover, and now the Trojans on the board.
Rochester is a pretty scrappy team, and we'll go after those loose balls, and we'll just hustle their butts off.
And that's what you've seen here in this early goings here in these first couple points. As checking in was Mia Howdashell for the Zebras. Swinging away and dropping the back row, found an empty spot as Lily Lett, as the zone was open in the back row. Which leaves Lily Lett, the sophomore, back to serve. Nice block up front by Lett. Blocked again by Addison Viers, and a point for the Trojans. Addison Viers coming up big. Kennedy Leap, rather. My bad. Morgan Feldman on the serve. Leap now, drops it, another empty spot in the hole.
A similarity I see between both teams just with their defense is that middle is wide open. And that is the most common spot that is open on any defense. And so I think tonight for both teams, they're really going to have to utilize that, especially if they want to get some kills down.
And Kennedy Leap out of position there as Lena Dahl found a soft spot in the zone as Maya Davis will check in along the front line. As Addison Viers back to serve it away. Addison coming into the night, 49 kills to her credit. First few games of the year.
Did you get stats then?
I went to Max Preps.
Oh.
And according to Max Preps, she's in the top 5 in kills and 1A in the state.
Already.
And an ace for the Trojans on the board. They're
So
first.
Max Preps gets stats before we do.
Hey, I was hurting. It was late. I wanted to get it done.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about where the stats get posted.
Oh, hey, it's all right. Bollinger got it across. Kinsey Atkins to roll it across from the libero spot. Libero in the exchange, and Holloway out of position. Nice job by Kinsey Atkins to push the defense to the spot she wanted to go to. Good recognition there by the senior libero for Triton. As Addison Viers goes back row, and that one, no, I was going to say it was close.
I think it was out by a hair.
It wasn't by much. It was pretty good. That was a close play on the line there.
Right on that line.
You know, you think we could get Kayden down there fast enough to get those nice little line shots, Orion. That way we can get those nice shots down there. I'm just saying. You're down there, buddy.
If cameras didn't cost so much.
If cameras didn't cost so much. Viers sets it to Maya Davis, who tips it across.
Nice hole.
Here comes Chip.
And there's Chip Davenport. Get to talk to him later on this evening. As freshman Avery Viers back to serve it away. Leading the Trojans in the ace department this season. Lena Dahl rolls it across. Nice recovery there by Lily Lett to keep that one alive. Kukusek back across. Viers tips it up front. Out of position. The Lady Zebras back on the board, now trailed by 2. I was being patient with that one. Get that scoreboard operator speed it up a little bit down there.
Right.
Takes forever. I can say that because I know him.
Same. Just a little bit, though.
Just a tad. Kukusakis on the serve as Lena Dahl blocked up front.
Oh.
Nice play by Bollinger. Triton recovers.
Got to utilize that free ball that you get.
Lena Dahl back row. Nice play by Holloway to keep it alive. Serves up close to the net. Bollinger had a short room. Atkins tracks it down. Viers brings it back into play. Triton needs to dial it in, get a little sloppy on the floor. Lena Dahl sets up Addison Viers. Set shot to the far corner. Holloway to answer in the back row. Kukusakis back on top. Swinging away. Back row. Kinsey Atkins stops it. And Maya Davis bumps it across. Holloway up close to the net. Here's Maya Davis. Ooh, that was close. What a play from Maya Davis. Elevated and knocked that one to the back row. What a play there. That's the kind of things you want to see is how she timed that well. That ball being blocked up there was up there for a while. And an ace for Kinsey Atkins.
Really nice serve.
Atkins now to serve again, leading by 4. Is this a new game we played this year? Because I don't remember playing Rochester last year. Maybe we did and I just don't remember it.
It was away.
It was away? Well, that's why I don't remember it. That one goes through the hands of Jenna Bulis. And the Lady Zebras back on the board.
We might not have played during COVID. I think that game might have got canceled.
Well,
it would have been here.
Yeah.
That's what my 4th season calling volleyball games. And that one goes out of bounds from Holloway. Triton sees double digits.
And that's a big improvement, I think, for the Lady Trojans, is that you saw more than one girl going to the line to make sure that that ball was out. And that's just something that they also need to keep doing, because then you're doing it as a team and you know that that's communication and that's working for them.
Nice job by Leap to see the open zone here on this near sideline and dropping that one, and what a play from her. As we're going to get a check in here as Kylie Frant will check in. She'll take her spot along, I believe, the front row. With Leap, she'll be out there alongside with Leap and Lett. As that one's sent back across by Coleman. Leap goes back row. Kinsey Atkins to stop it. Addison Viers bumps it across, passing into Lena Dahl, back across. Kokosakis puts it back up. Triton on the attack. Here comes Lena Dahl, tips it across, finds an empty spot on the attack line and drops it in. Of course, be a busy night for the Big Blue Slam as back-to-back nights, playing some pretty tough teams for back-to-back nights. Lena Dahl now sends it back across, stopping her right there. Kokosek is setting up leap. She'll swing through the block and gets a point for Rochester. Chip, I'm not used to the camera being.
And I'm trying not to look at it.
Lily Lett now back across. Blocked up front by Viers. Addison Viers on the season coming into tonight. 14 blocks to her credit, but behind her is Avery Viers with 12 and 11 apiece for Jenna. For Maya Davis, I might have a typo somewhere. I think Jenna plays the front row. Blocked up, but Viers, but they're going to get a double hit call. This bounces that one across. I have to tell Chip I was getting photogenic there, Orion. I'm not used to having my picture taken.
I kept trying not to look at it because of the angle that it was at. I was like, that's not going to be a good picture.
Kennedy Lee back across. Here comes Macy Hensley with a nice shot to the back row. Coco Sekas times it and goes to the back row. Good play by them to really kind of find those open spots in the zone and drop it in.
Did you do your makeup tonight?
I didn't have time. She told me get the spot where I look about 10 pounds lighter. And an ace for Rochester. Their first of the ball game.
All I can say is I got a haircut Saturday.
It's been a while since I got a haircut. Rochester working up front, knocking it back across, and that one goes out of bounds, and Triton's back on the board. It's a little bit of a run for Rochester. Both teams still feeling each other out here in this early set. Hannah Snyder comes off the floor. Maya Davis along the front line with freshman Avery Viers and Macy Hensley. Addison Viers now back across, and an ace for Addison.
That's got to be the third one.
That is the third ace of the set. Good call. Addison Viers now to go back across. Strong serve to the back row. Holloway had to adjust for it.
Ooh.
I think we're going to double hit. Oh, my God, someone in the net from Triton, and the point belongs to Rochester as Lena Dahl got caught under the net.
I think that was Maya because she went up to block in her hands.
I don't know. They do their finger things. They don't say 25. This isn't like football where they got an intercom.
Maybe that's what we need to get.
That could be interesting. Nice job there by Coleman to see that front side zone on the far side open up with the whole defense shifting towards her. Good find there by the senior. Awful proud of herself there along that front line. And rightly so, as Kylie Frant back to serve it away. Dahl stops it. Avery Viers running it down. Had to go across the court to get to that one. Rochester's Frant couldn't bring it back alive. Man, it hit the floor just a little bit awkward there. As Avery Viers now back to serve.
I think he changed the lineup because Avery hasn't been a setter yet, I don't think. That's just something I've noticed.
It's still early on. Kind of get yourself set up. As Lena Dahl finds another soft spot, but what a play by Coco Sekas to keep it alive. Macy Hensley goes back row. Let back across. Coco Sekas through the block. Addison Viers sets it to the corner. Nice job by Addison to see a soft spot in the zone. And like a seasoned pitcher painting the corners. And Avery Viers back to serve again. They're trying to look to go on a little bit of a push here. Coach even final instructions for his front row. Now one just out of bounds, not by much. I want to appreciate the officials for coming out tonight and doing that job because I'm sure we don't want me doing it.
It's a lot more intimidating than you think.
I don't think I want to be on a ladder. That's just, everybody knows where I'm at. I can't hide. Maya Davis now to Macy Hensley, who goes back row and out of bounds. Although, if you're going to call a game, and you're going to be like a referee for football or basketball, you want to do it with Rochester because you just tend to blend in a little bit.
Right.
You tend to blend in a little bit there. It's zebras. Kayden didn't like my dad joke. Addison Viers setting up Lena Dahl, who swings through the block. Holloway there to return it right back to her. Let back across through the block as well. Bulis there to answer. Jenna Bulis seen a lot of time here tonight. This first set as Atkins got across. Coleman now. Macy Hensley stops it. Viers runs it down, passing it back to the middle. Atkins rolls it across. Long volley here, back row, and Triton runs it off the back row. And the football players like that one as the most talented. Boy, they make me nervous.
Yeah, that was
most
a new one.
talented volleyball student section. As the boys down there all fired up. Of course, they're tasked with a tall order on Friday night against a tough LaVille team. Maya Davis swinging through with authority.
It's so
and right there, even like that one.
So important to keep those long volleys, especially if you win it. Then that just gives you more momentum, like with that play right there. Like you saw her face, she was ready to hit that ball.
And her approach was really good. How she got up there, she really timed it well. You can tell she's been working on it. And look at Davis getting in position again for another swing. That one going out of bounds.
We must be doing everything right tonight. The peanut gallery hasn't chimed in.
Not yet?
Not yet. Well, you tell me. He usually texts you more than me.
Oh. I got a text message. Oh, he liked the joke, though. So the peanut gallery, they are watching. He liked the joke. The Kayden in Indianapolis liked the joke. The Kayden up here in Bourbon didn't like it. He's shaking your head no for. And a block up front there by Kennedy Leap. Draws her team within one here in this opening set between these very two talented teams. Davis trying to get up front, and Leap couldn't quite handle it, but somehow Rochester recovers as Kukusekis got it across. Feldman bumps it across. Holloway brings it back into play. That one might have been going out. Kukusekis now brings it back in. Coleman into the net.
Couldn't quite get herself turned around. She kind of spun in a circle there.
It's kind of the odd man spot. You're in that corner. You can't spin where you got to put it. It's kind of that's a tough play to make up there in that front corner.
Because a lot of approaches when you're coming from the left row, you have to start with your back turned towards the setter and try to turn your body before you excel up and then try to turn and hit. It's a very hard spot to play, especially when the ball is out of play like that.
I think we're going to get a double hit call on Rochester. It's their first double hit penalty of the evening. See, Max Preps has it up there.
I think Ink Free News also gets some stats.
Viers tips it across and drops it across. Ink Free News is doing sports again?
I might be wrong.
I thought they dropped their sports.
No, I think they did.
I don't think they're doing sports anymore.
I was referring to the coach getting me the stats.
Oh.
I only got them for
the first
Glenn.
It's okay. So what I'm seeing more in this opening set for me, as far as how this team has been working, Triton, you're seeing the communication, the flow is a little bit. You see players who struggled last week in that opening week starting to play a little bit stronger, and Rochester just trying to get themselves filled out. Like I said, if you're Triton, if you get up, you got to defend that lead because Rochester's going to come roaring back.
And that's exactly what these girls, I think, have done in this first set, especially with such good communication, and they have a mix to their game. I've seen it more with Lena Dahl this game. She does have an amazing swing and a really big hit, but she knows how to utilize those tips. And then you have Addison who can know when to push that ball to those deep corners. They're using all different aspects of the game, not just big hits and big hits against a very good Rochester team with digs.
And while we have a moment for these two teams get set coming out of this timeout, want to let our thoughts and prayers be out with Argus volleyball player Emily Carr, who tragically lost her life over the weekend, and just want her family and that community to know that the TTSN crew and everybody here at Triton has you guys in our thoughts and prayers, and just hope that you guys can find peace in this time. Lena Dahl back across and paints the line, but that one goes out of bounds. And Emma Sells comes off the floor. It's Kylie Frant back in the game. Kylie Coleman now to serve. Addison Viers stops it. The student section getting rowdy over there. Viers through the block, but what a heads-up play there by Lett to bring that one back into play. Addison Viers swings it through, and that one hits the sideline, and the Trojan football team fired up after that one.
I did hear Anthony Shue say that he's going to come dressed in a different outfit every home game.
You can't wear the same one each time. You've got to change it up.
I'm not sure what theme he went with tonight, but apparently there's going to be a different theme, so that'll be something to look forward to.
You know what? You run for 220 yards on the ground for your opening game of the season. You can do whatever you want to do, pal. Absolutely. But, hey, you know, just seeing these football players show up out here, I'm telling you, that's one of the best student sections around. And that one, a kill shot from Addison Viers. Uh-oh. Got to help him up.
A lot more antics this game compared to the last one.
They had to get feel. They probably had to talk with Coach Younis and see what can we do on the floor, what can't we do. And it's Monday.
They're a lot more energetic than I am for a Monday. Give them that.
A lot more than I've got. Feldman back across. Avery Viers goes across the floor. Let answers. Coco Segas back up to Let. She'll swing through. Lena Dahl stopped it. And a double hit call, I believe, on the Trojans coming here. See, I'm getting a lot faster calling those double hit calls. I paid attention when Coach Perry told me to explain to me what a double hit was. I will never forget it, I'll tell you. Avery Viers through the block. Let up to the front side to Coco Sekas. She'll go to the back row. Viers through the block and the point. Match point now for the Big Blue Slam as Morgan Feldman goes back to serve. Macy Hensley rotates along the front line with Addison and Avery Viers. We'll go against Kennedy Leap, Lily Lett, and Kylie Friend that front line. Feldman stops the play off the net, but Hannah Snyder didn't have a play on the ball. I'll send Kennedy Leap back as both teams getting up over the 20-point mark. Here's up to Hensley. Hensley swings through the back row. Leap brings it back into, Leap brings back into play. Snyder to Viers, tips it across. Triton takes the first set, 25-20. A noisy opening start. As they take a break, we will too, and get our words here from the IHSAA Champions Network.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Neidig, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Andrew Harrell alongside Alexa Viers, Kayden Hummitch in the Hall of Famer Orion Lemler here for the Triton Trojan Sport Network. As Triton won that opening set 25-20, as this team winning their first set of the season. The opening set of the season when they put up 28 points in a tightly contested match against John Glenn, and Mishawaka only put up 15 in Oregon Davis on Thursday night, winning that one and hit the 25-point mark. So Triton 3 for 4 on opening sets to start the season. Not a bad start. Now we got Kinsey Atkins all smiles down there. The assistant's trying to fire up their libero. And she played extremely well in that opening set. I mean, Kinsey was all over the place directing her back line. You know, she's doing a good job out there as a senior leader. And the same can be said for Holloway in the back row for, you know, Rochester. We see a lot of good plays from her, but Lily Lett is another one that's been very impressive, hitting the deck, bringing the ball up from life. I mean, Rochester came to play as Hannah Snyder sends that one across. What a play right out the bat from Kylie Coleman, the senior outside hitter, brings that one back. Kylie Coleman now. This back row, Viers stops it up off the backboard. Snyder patiently passing it to Viers, who rolls it across to the back row. Lett now from the far side corner, trying to paint it across, but can't quite get there, and now the big blue slam on the board. I forgot to get officials' names before the game again. I'll learn eventually. Coco Sake is up to leap. Kinsey Atkins digs it back up alive, and Morgan Feldman, they're going to get a call for a lift. She was trying to bring that one back across.
If she just would have probably had her arm up a little bit higher, that could have probably made all the difference.
Atkins pass up to Viers, who get a call for a doubleheader. She kind of took that one odd.
Same kind of ball as Morgan, and those ones are just really hard because you're not sure where to put your body. You can't really have your feet set or anything, so those are just ones you just kind of got to be like, well, I'll get the next one.
Snyder passing it up. Avery Viers goes across the way. Coco Sakis now swings through the block and not strong enough. And the Lady Zebras now with a nice advantage to start this second set.
All the seniors that are on the floor for Rochester are very fundamentally sound. Like, you can tell when you watch them that they are looking where they want to put that ball, and especially with passing, they just always make sure that they have that flat platform.
And Triton's fourth double hit call called on them here tonight. And a timeout for Coach Evans. He tries to sort things out with his front line. As Viers, the speaking captain, going over and speaking with the side judge over there on the far up on the ladder.
I know her name, but I can't remember.
Well, I'm still, I know names I know last names of people at times, but I recognize faces.
Yep.
I don't have to interact with them as much. It's probably good that I'm not officiating. I don't know. I'd make my mind. The problem is when you're a livestock judge versus officiating games, you can go back and I don't know. I got to get a little more time to make a decision. I don't have to make it like in a split second.
I know that's something that I struggled with because I reffed like a couple volleyball games and basketball games just to kind of help out, and I'm so used to like dairy judging where I'm like, no, I have more time, and then when it comes to these, you're like, oh no, you have to be like absolutely certain, and I'm just like, maybe, can I get a second opinion?
I'd like to phone a friend.
Yeah.
Lily Lett now to go back across. Viers up to Avery Viers and drops in the corner. Oh, soft spot in the zone. Triton correcting well, coming out of the timeout. After Ryan's out of breath after running around doing something there.
Kayden lost power.
Uh-oh.
And we're still waiting on reconnection.
Leap now through the block. Kinsey Atkins can't quite get there. She went for broke, trying to bring that one back alive. And Rochester regains that 4-point lead. It's a good find by Leap. She's done a good job here swinging through that block. Macy Hensley now to swing through. Let back across, but another double hit call being called. This time on Rochester. 6 double hit calls here in this ball game between these two teams. Addison Viers back across. Holloway now back across for Rochester. Viers to Hensley, drops it across. Let's there to answer. Kokosekis tries to bring it back into play, and oh, what a play from her. Just got across the top of that net.
I think Maya was ready for it, too. I think she just tripped up. She just got tripped up a little bit. Because other than that, she was right there.
That's why communication on the floor is important as Avery Viers gets it across. Up to Kokosekis. She'll swing it through into the top of the net.
Hey, and we got
4 hits now called on the Zebras.
We got 2 cameras now.
Must have hit the top of the net.
That's what I'm gathering.
It's so hard to tell because you see them jump up and like from here and you think, oh yeah, she definitely touched that. And it's like, oh, maybe she didn't.
Like right there.
Yeah.
Atkins, good communication in the back row, calling off Avery Viers. Lena Dahl, back row too strong. May have been a little late on that jumper. She was kind of coming down, mistimed that jump a little bit.
I think definitely for the Lady Trojans, they just need to try to keep up that momentum from the first game. Like, you can't get down on yourself if little things happen because you can control your gameplay. And I know very well that those girls are able to have fun out there and play really good volleyball.
Atkins with good communication back row. Maya Davis sends it down.
That's 2 for her on those little balls that come over the net. Those are bread and butter, though, to a middle hitter. We had a game called Don't Feed the Animals, and that is exactly what we practice. And there was always, though, a catch. You had to try and catch the ball that was being hit at you. And for me, that was Nikki Seacrest who was hitting that ball at you, and it's like, oh, God.
I don't want to play that game with Addison or Avery. I don't want to play that game with either one. Maya's starting to make that conversation, too. I don't want to play that game with either one of them. Feed the animal. I'm not sure I do. Kokosekis has got to track that one down. What a play by Rochester to get that one back across. Macy Hensley too strong out of bounds.
Another one. They're just so close to that line on so many of the balls. If they just are able to get on top of that ball more, that will help increase those points.
And Rochester hanging on to that lead. Now by 3 is Holloway, this senior libero, gets that one across. Is that considered an ace? There's 2 people. Yeah, that's right. I wasn't looking enough to. If I was hit twice. If it's hit once, it's an ace, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, I'm learning. Maya Davis back across. Let now again. Addison Viers brings it back into play. I understand what she was trying to do to bring it back into play because she knew she wasn't going to have a good enough hit on it. And on a miscue in the back row. On a point for Rochester. It's Triton now trailing by their Rochester, their largest lead now by 6 of this set. Viers up close to the net. Davis can't get there, but Leap was going to make sure that one wasn't coming back across. And the lead now grows to 7.
Rochester, when they get that lead, they know how to run with it.
See how Triton can stand tall and make a stop here. Bulis and Dahl get that one. Viers has got to roll it across. A free ball for Rochester. Coleman goes back row. Passing up. Viers go back across. And Holloway, they couldn't quite bring that one back alive.
I for a second thought they were going to because they've had so many of those plays that they've been able, just that hustle.
Just bringing it back to life. I mean, every time it seems like that ball's going to hit the ground, they bring it right back up.
Trojans need to utilize the serve that they have and just try to keep it. You have the serve, you're in charge.
Kokosekis sets up Leap. She'll swing through. Kill shot for Rochester.
I sent you the refs.
Oh, thank you.
Names.
Did you text?
No.
Oh.
I discovered I knew where it was.
Well, hey, see?
For home games anyway, I know where it is.
Well, there we go. Viers couldn't quite clear the net. I want to thank our officials. We got Dan Richards here on the near side pole, and Janice Jasinski Beck is up on the ladder here for this ball game. Viers has got to bring it back into play. Bulis can't quite get there in 4 hits on the Trojans. It's Triton's offense trying to get going here. Excuse me, rather the defense trying to make it stop now, trailing by 9. Addison Viers, kill shot. Triton needed that point there. And now what do you make with it? Lean it all back to serve. Let's see if the junior can breathe some life into this offense and get themselves on a roll. Back row getting that one was Houdeshell. Let back across. Feldman stops it. Hannah Snyder couldn't quite bring him back into play. It's Rochester now. As Lena Dahl comes off the floor. Viers now goes back to the corner. France back across, but Triton couldn't quite bring it back into play. As Frant kind of burned that one across the seam there. As Lily let bow back to serve. Atkins a low hit there. She'll have to track that one down. Can't bring it back into play. Another free point for Rochester.
I get what she was trying to do there, though. Like, you don't want to keep free balling it over because then that's like you're basically giving them free points. And so I completely understand why you would want to attack. It sadly didn't work out for her.
Now it goes back row. Westaver's got it on into Snyder. And Addison Viers through the block is really strong from Rochester. And they hit the 20-point mark. Massive lead for the Zebras. I know this is going to be horrible. I don't know these new kids for us. Who's number 3? It's in the corner here on the near side by me.
Oh, Lord. Number 3.
Snyder. Yeah, that is horrible. Kokosakis back in there and blocked.
Holly.
Not strong enough. That's Holly. That's what I thought it was.
Yep.
That's what I thought it was. That's who I had a feeling it was.
I think, is that one Serena?
Nadia Stetler now going along the front lines. Atkins rotates in. We got too many players on the floor. Someone's got to come off, and Sierra's got to come off.
Uh-oh. A little confusion.
So is the team trying to get things. That's just a freshman. That is a new substitution.
And that is a new rotation because normally, I believe Macy would normally come in for Kenzie because she's the libero and Macy's going to be the middle hitter. But again, like when you sub that girl, like when you sub Sierra and you've got to try to sub that one out then, and it can get confusing, especially when you've gone one way for so long. Then you forget, you're like, oh, I actually do need to sub out. I can't just run in.
Atkins again on the back-to-back serves. Frant back across. Macy Hensley a double hit call on Triton. It's their 5th double hit call here tonight. Is Rochester now 3 points away from taking the second set. We will indeed play 4 sets tonight at least. Macy Hensley blocked up front there by Frant. Out of bounds.
I think the Lady Trojans really need to focus on getting that really good first pass, because if you get that good first pass, it'll eliminate those double call hits, and then they can respond with big hits.
That one out of bounds. And the biggest thing is you can't go quiet. You got to be talking along that line. I mean, this little deal here with that, where things really started to be in trouble, is that communication on that front line. Everybody kind of just went quiet.
Especially when you have a senior who has very fundamentally and athletically sound, serving to a sophomore, a freshman, and a senior in the back row. it does tend to get a little complicated.
So as they take a break, we will too be back here on the Triton Trojan Sports Network for the third set. We'll be right back.
Investing in education-based athletics builds strong communities and a strong, successful Indiana.
That's because when we support education-based athletics, we're not only supporting Hoosier student athletes, we're championing the next generation of doctors, CEOs, and engineers, not to mention future teachers, first responders, and civil servants. I'm Brian Lewis.
And I'm Chris Kaufman. We're both assistant commissioners of the Indiana High School Athletic Association.
High school sports are the training ground for our future community leaders, impact makers, and world changers.
When we invest in student athletes, we're teaching them the importance of serving others selflessly,
leading them to become engaged, compassionate citizens who pay it forward and continue building a positive future for Indiana and beyond.
Support the next generation of Hoosier difference makers by buying a ticket to your high school's athletic events.
This is serving our community. This is strengthening our future. This is your IHSAA. High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Well, since the IHSA is done knocking on wood, we're back here from the Trojan Trench. I'm Andy O'Hara alongside Alexa Viers, Kayden, Hummitch, and the Hall of Famer Orion Lemler here for the Triton Trojan Sports Network. I'm not picking on their commercial. I love their commercials. The knocking on wood commercials are my favorite. I like those a lot, especially the golf ball one. That one's my favorite. You ever seen that one where he sits there and like the gender reveal and he sends the golf ball and he sends it to the car and explodes inside the car? Oh, that's hilarious.
I haven't seen that one.
That is the best. That is the best one they did. That is my favorite one. So here we go. We'll see what Triton can get squared away here as they lost that one 25-10. That's their lowest output in a set, especially the second set all season. If you're those seniors, make sure you're talking out there to everybody along the line. If you're a leader, you got to make sure your voice is heard. This is going to be team. You've got to be loud and be talking. Snyder's got to track that one down. Viers has got to hit it from beyond the sideline. Let now. Drops it back in the middle of the zone. Avery Viers to answer. Snyder setting up Addison Viers. She'll tip it across over top. A nice play by Leap to keep it alive. Coco Sake is up. Frant backs across. Viers knew what she wanted to do, but second guessed herself as that ball was starting to come down.
Had to react faster to that, even if it wasn't a super strong hit. As long as you get a roll shot or some kind of hard attack going. Strong serve. Good
talk in the back row, and the strong serve there was the right idea by Coleman to try to see if she could get that back row to bite. Lena Dahl now to serve. And her serve goes deep back to Holloway, and an ace for Triton as the two Zebras get tied up in the back, along the back row there. As Lena Dahl getting ready to go again here.
That's a nice sequence. She did a hard serve that went deep, and then you push that back row back, and then you follow up with a really short serve, and that's how she's gotten 2 aces now.
Wow, I got a report from JV football. I'll wait till we have a little more time to talk about it.
Let back across, empty spot in the back row. Snyder couldn't quite get there in time. JV football playing tonight?
Yeah, they were at North Miami.
That's right. Had a little bit. Oh, that's right. They had a trip down there. That's right.
Yeah, South Central didn't have JV teams, so we had to find someone else to play.
It's a little bit of a trip. Avery Viers now paints the line, but pushes that one out of bounds. That'll knot it up at 3 apiece. Kayden, wake up, buddy. Don't yawn over there, buddy. Howdeshell back across. His leap. Snyder on up to Avery Viers. Slips it through the block. Howdeshell with the dig to bring it back to life. Leap back across and drops in front of the defense. Nice play on the front line. Paying off for Rochester, who takes the lead. Addison Viers up front. Tips it. Snyder, but we're going to get a net violation. Calling on leap on the front line. I understand what that means now when they hold their fingers up. Howdeshell back across. Addison Viers with the block.
I honestly think it helps the girls when those boys get rowdy. Like
I don't know.
I'm not sure, but
up, and that one goes out of bounds as it hits the official across the way. An ace for Kinsey Atkins. I don't know how that doesn't fire you up.
Because like we talked about last week, like somebody who's just gives them like that goofy effect and like gives them a laugh, like
that's your student section.
That's what those boys are doing, and I think it helps those girls a lot.
Nice play there as Triton couldn't quite get there. As Coach Younis, got to bring your defense back. You got to move on the floor, guys. Atkins was trying to get there. It was stopped in the front line. I think Kinsley kind of took a weird look at it. Kinsey's got to put some oomph into that one back across.
I think that was all of her. And hustles again.
Oh, come on now, Kinsey. Oh, it was close. Oh, man. Her and Snyder trying to.
Oh, my goodness.
If I went over Kinsey, we need to go get a lottery ticket.
That is such a good senior leader, though, and senior player. Like, she got up, hustled again, got up, hustled again.
Macy Hensley couldn't quite get the pass to tip it back across. Reassurance from her teammates on the floor now as they trail by 1. Viers setting it across. Macy Hensley sets it now. Leap passing up to Let. Coco Segas has to adjust, and she brings it back into play. Macy Hensley, back row, out of bounds. Howdeshell jumping out of the way. Nadia Stetler will go across the front line. Saw her impact earlier in the JV match.
She had a really good JV game.
JV won 2-1 as an ace now for Rochester, who has 4 on the evening. As Kennedy Leap back to serve yet again. Aaron Leap's Zebra's looking good here in this second set. Last third set rather. Taking a nap apparently. I think we're going to get a double hit call on the front line, and we do. It's the third by my count. On Rochester, it might be 4. I might have missed one. I don't think so though.
And I honestly think they've all been leaps. I probably am wrong about that, but what I've noticed is that she just has a really strong serve and has such a good spin on the ball that it's, when you have that spin that she has on the ball, it's really hard to pass it up.
Nice heads-up play along that front line for Triton as Coco Sekas drops in. Here comes Avery Viers with the saving play. On up, Coco Sekas again. And Lena Dahl couldn't quite get there. I'll guarantee that scoreboard and that trash can would have been there. I'm pretty sure Avery would have had a hold of that one. But Avery had a play there about as close to the net.
Poor Coach Plotho about got ran over on that one, too.
That's why he's got the towel. He's got to wipe away that perspiration. The trademark towel. Got to talk on the front line. Davis hits it across. Let. Viers hits the deck on that one on the hit from Coleman. Kokosek is back across. Dahl stops it. Viers brings it back into play, and somehow Maya Davis gets it across. Stetler setting up Maya Davis, who plants her feet and sends it back across. Holloway to answer. Let back across. Kokosek swings it through. Avery Viers stops it. We're going to get a net violation on the. They're going to say it was on Stetler, crossed underneath. You know what? I've been marking those down right. Oops.
Oh, got cut. Yep.
Double hit. And a timeout for Triton.
Got to talk on that.
So.
And see, those are just
you got your time for your JV stuff
okay.
now.
JV football, victorious over North Miami, 12-0. 29-yard pass and catch from Gage Riffle to Cam Callahan, and a 36-yard touchdown run by Vincent Prater.
Hey, no surprise there. Some very talented players on that underclassmen group for Triton, that JV group. Look forward to seeing those guys. Vinny Prater, one you talked about, and Gage Riffle. Some nice players there, and Callahan, another one. Keep an eye on that on those trio of players, and a whole host of underclassmen are going to look really good as the season will progress. Of course, our friend Chip Davenport, quick conversation with him is like getting to see Chip. As that'll send back now Kylie Frant back to serve, and that one going to the net, a free point for Triton. They needed that point there, now trailing by 5. Avery Viers back to serve. You got a good server back there, but Triton's offense has got to get back into play here because they want to go on a run. They're quickly going to lose this third set because once Rochester got the lead, they stormed away within the second set. Kokosek to the back row. Nice play by Viers to keep it alive. Maya Davis. Kinsey Atkins calls her off. Let up front. Viers again to try to push it across, but it goes out of bounds.
So do I have this right? Besides his Times Union job, he's also the announcer
PA announcer for Warsaw football games. Yep,
okay.
Yep. Yep. That's a fun press box to be in. I got to be in that my senior year. That was when it was brand new.
Ooh.
It was fancy. It felt like he was in a college press box. You had the guys up front. You had the PA guys up front. And then Roger Grossman had his own little spot. And then we was up on the second shelf. And I realized then when I was a senior, it's like, wait, but we get free food? I want to be a broadcaster. No, I'm just kidding. That was way before that. Mr. Bumgunner always taught me to make sure I always got my free popcorn or whatever when I came into ball games. I never missed a meal. Big Blue Slam benches. That one was where that one goes. But Kinsey Atkins again with another nice dig. She just gets herself in position, does so good. And she has really improved on that. I mean, the last 2 years playing libero, I mean, she's just done an outstanding job. As Stetler couldn't quite get that one to clear. Might have rushed that serve just a little bit.
Absolutely, and I feel like it's the same with Rochester's libero. Like, she is on top of almost every ball, and if not, she is backing up whatever girl is passing that ball or is blocking or hitting.
And Kinsey very vocal here tonight in that back row. Feldman goes back row now. That one out of bounds. Nice attempt there by Lily Lettis. She was trying to hope that back row was going to kind of float back and try to get a hold of that one. Right idea. Try to move that defense. Snyder now to go. Nice serve by Snyder to the back row. Leak now brings it back into this side. Coleman mistimes her jump as that front side line of Addison Viers and Lena Dahl kind of scared away from that hit. She knew where she was going to go, but the front line changed her mind as Hannah Snyder now trying to send her team on a run. Coleman, back row, Atkins stops it. Snyder passing it back into play. Viers back across. Coleman now up to Kokosakis, but we're going to get a net violation. They're going to call it on Viers, I believe, and the call goes against Triton. I missed a few of those. Might be off one or two. Kylie Coleman now to serve. As Rochester trying to take control of this ball game. Triton not out of the fight yet. Viers tips it across. That one was kind of a weird play off the top of the net.
I think Rochester touched it. That's why we could touch it again.
Kennedy Leap looking good along that front line. Some nice plays by her to keep that ball in play. Kokosakis dumps it across. Kinsey Atkins keeps it alive. Lena Dahl calls for it. Snyder rolls it across. Frant back across. Strong hit out of bounds and wisely as Snyder and Atkins ran that one off the back line. And Lena Dahl now back to serve as Howdeshell now to check in for the Zebras. Triton now trailing by 4. As Rochester's got that lead and has not looked back here in this third set. Triton's battling. Frant. Dahl now in a nice position there with a good pass to Snyder. Now to Atkins. Lett gets it across on tipped up front by Triton. On over to Avery Viers who goes back row and nice changed her mind there as Holloway. It was a good call there. Viers was trying to bait her. She had to change her mind last second.
She had her arm kind of hanging down here, which is why she kind of pushed it up, which is why it went so deep. She had her arm like at a 90-degree angle.
Libero to libero on that exchange as Kokosakis goes to the back row. Viers tips it back to Howdeshell. Kokosakis passing it. Oh, my goodness. On up to Viers, swings it through. Howdeshell took a laser and brought it back to life. Viers again, swings it through, blocked up front, but it bounces out off the top of the net and goes away. 4 hits on the Trojans. Lily Lett now to serve. Viers tries to go right back to her and does. Howdeshell up to Kokosakis, swinging through, empty spot in the zone. And the Zebras starting to trot their way to a nice lead here in this third set.
Zebras trot.
See, you caught it. See, look, I keep trying to throw little, what do you call those, Kayden? Easter eggs? Is that what you call those? Feldman, strong hit, goes out of bounds. Is that what you call those Easter eggs? I treat my little puns and dad jokes to keep.
Oh, man.
You know, he's on a roll. First off, he bashes my Broncos on live broadcast.
Oh, no.
His mom even said he did it.
Oh, no.
Frant goes back across. And I never once said a bad thing about his Bears. Leap back through, out of bounds, trying to get a break. Sorry, Kayden, but that one stung just a little bit, bud. Oh, what a goof. Kokosakis bumps it across. Addison Viers tipping it through. He's trying to mount a comeback here, trailing by 6. It's a tall hill to climb.
But when you have senior Kinsey Atkins going back to serve, I definitely think she'll be able to get them some points.
Atkins sends it across. Frant back row. Kinsey calls for it, passing up to the front. Viers setting it up. Macy Hensley, might have got away with a net violation. Her foot might have went across.
Yeah.
Viers dumps to the corner. Howdeshell back across. Lena Dahl, Coach Evelyn. He's losing hair down here. Don't pull on that yet, Coach. You need to keep that. Snyder to Viers in the corner and gets a roll, gets a lucky break on the roll shot. Now Coach even starts pulling on that hair anymore. He's going to start pulling some of it out. So I keep getting afraid to cut my hair any shorter. I'm afraid it's going to start thinning out up top. Ooh, just past that back line.
See, and that's something that you got to look back at, especially in those first and second sets, like they've got so close to that line on so many plays. If those were, say, at the line or in the court, you know, those are points that could be added, and it could ultimately change kind of the course of how this third set has gone.
And the fifth ace of the night for the Zebras. Kennedy leap back again. That one tips across, back-to-back aces. As Rochester starting to put themselves on cruise control. As Bulis will check in for Dahl to go to the back row in the middle. Macy Hensley dumps it across.
Going out.
Oh, and a late call there as Viers has got to play back into play. Kenzie Atkins rolls it across. Lucky break for Triton. Fran back across, blocked up front by Avery Viers. And Rochester couldn't quite recover. Triton still alive. But a long road to go here. Maya Davis will check in for Snyder. As Jenna Bulis now to check in. Maya Davis just checked in. Jenna checked in on the last one. I had it. I knew what I was talking about. It's okay. Blocked up front by Hensley, who goes again, but
I think that was at a weird angle with the net.
Yeah, with that antenna being right there where that ball kind of dropped, she's afraid to swing and hit the antenna. Could have been. I don't know. I was up here. It's a match point now for the Zebras. As they look to win 2 sets in a row here. After dropping the first one, as Maya Davis goes back row. Holloway brings it back into play. Coleman across the way. Viers setting it back to the corner. Sees an empty spot. Nice job, Addison Viers. I'm telling you what. If Greg Maddox played volleyball. You don't know who Greg Maddox is? Seriously?
No.
One of the greatest Braves pitchers ever. Pitched for the Cubs. I mean, he was known for painting the corners. Moving the strike zone right there. You saw Addison just dumped it right. She just saw the whole defense.
But I think she noticed that. I think the libero.
That'll do it.
We kept going cross court a lot. Like, that's just how we responded. She was always in that cross. It would be her left position. And so going line, you tend to mix it up. And that's exactly what I think Triton needs to do to kind of stay alive, is because they know each other's game now. They know exactly which one each other is going to respond. And that's why it's so important to mix up your game.
I think if you're a senior down here in this lineup, I think the biggest thing to do right now is get everybody's attention. There's no coach in that lineup right now. They're taking their time before they decide what they're going to say. I think if you're Kenzie Atkins or Addison Viers or even Morgan Feldman, get your face in that huddle and start letting everybody know and start letting everybody have it. Because, I mean, that's the biggest thing right now. You're down. They've got their – if you want to go to 5 sets, it's time to play big girl volleyball and let's get it figured out. Because right now, this is now a time this team has got to come together, has got to start talking and start playing volleyball that they're capable of playing. And unfortunately, I'm not seeing a lot of talking now. If you're those girls, you've got to be in your face talking.
I'm seeing some words being said, but it seems like it's only between 2 players. Like, all the girls need to then interact. Like, you've had enough time now. One person has said something. That's where you need to come together as a team and just talk it out. Like, yes, you may be down a game or a set, but if you get each other like pumped up and you basically telling each other that you believe in each other, like, hey, yes, we all made mistakes, but we're going to fix them. That's what's going to get them excited. Right now, it's not a lot of communication, and I think it's just a lot of like, okay, I'll fix my game.
And right there, I saw Addison kind of clapping her hands and trying to get their attention. That's the biggest thing right now, is get in everybody's face and start talking. Don't be turning away from the huddle. Be looking in the huddle. I mean, right now, who's going to be that voice that's going to jump up and pin their ears back? Because Triton needs to pin their ears back on this one and start fighting, because this fourth set could be it here tonight. And if you want to get it better, you know, you're a team that these girls have all got to be part of some pretty good sectional runs the last few years. You know, if you can't adjust here and now, who says to say you're going to do it later on? Now it's time to dig deep, make the adjustments against a very talented Rochester. They're no slouch. They're scrappy. They're not afraid to get out there and play hard. You know, they're going to play with every bit of grit they've got. If you're Triton, you need to find that fire in your belly and get it and come firing here in this fourth set.
Well, and you need to find that chemistry too, because I'm not seeing a lot of like coming together, and I think that's one thing that, like, once they get going in these games, they'll notice, like, okay, like you said in the beginning, like, they are now the leaders. They are now the ones running the show. Like, they can't necessarily rely on what they knew before. Like, they need to go out and play to the potential, which we've seen a lot of their potential and how strong that they can be.
Oh, making sure I got the one for tomorrow night. Good job.
Haynes says howdy.
Howdy, Haynes.
He had a long day in South Bend, he said.
Hey, been there, done that, buddy. all too well.
Well, we got 50 people watching right
You know,
now.
I was going to try to hit Chick-fil-A up today. I was gonna try.
How's that line?
It didn't just materialize. I was going to try to get someone to bring it tonight, but I was like, I saw that line, I'm like, there ain't no way. There ain't no way unless someone brings an air fryer.
I'm not going to lie.
We got an air fryer. Let's see, Marcia's got an air fryer back there in the concession stand. We can bring Chick-fil-A and just bring her a sandwich to leave that air fryer sitting back here. Just saying, it's a possibility here.
I don't hate Chick-fil-A. I'm not saying that, but I just don't understand why there's always such a long line.
Because it's good.
I don't know. Like, I'm not saying I don't like it. Like, I do like it, but
well,
I
you know,
just
we
can't
were
wrap my
talking.
head around it.
So we were talking the other night as we get this forced underway here. This is the topic we got to finish this conversation on. But, you know, we were talking past Chick-fil-A and Popeyes. Who's got the next best chicken sandwich? These fast food chains. And I am full-fledged believing as a big point for Triton. They're going to say a net violation on Triton.
Oh.
Okay, what is that call there? I don't know what that one is. All she did was she made a fist.
That was the I think what number, like.
Oh, well, I don't know.
The number. I don't know. I didn't.
But no, we were talking
I was paying attention down to the down ref.
Here I am talking about chicken sandwiches. We got 2 points here on the deal. Just saying, we're Ryan, we may need to figure this one out here and get a poll figured out. The next best. Who's got past Chick-fil-A and Popeyes? Who's got the next best
Burger
one?
King.
I'm sorry, I think KFC wins for me. The compliment of their chicken and their fries can't be. I don't know. That's pretty good stuff.
KFC once, so that's why I try to stay away from
That's just once. That one drops in. That one hitting the near sideline. Let's try and get a point there.
The only reason why I say Burger King is because I've had their like Big King like.
Okay, their chicken is good. Their chicken is good. I am not a fan of McDonald's chicken. No. However, the KFC chicken for me, you know, their fries are double fried. I'm just saying, oh boy, that's good stuff there. I mean, it's.
I miss my grilled chicken sandwich at Shoop's.
Oh yeah, that was good too. You don't know what Shoop's was?
Never been there.
I took my kids there religiously.
Well, it's too late to go now. They tore it down and built a
It's Popeyes now, so if you want a chicken sandwich, you can still go get a good chicken sandwich there too.
I also have never had Popeyes.
Oh my gosh! So I talked to you. I talked to your other half down there and say, hey, you need to start taking her to some of these places.
He loves Popeyes, but he went to school in South Bend. He went to Holy Cross, so that's like, if they were hungry, they were able to just DoorDash whatever they wanted. I'm like,
I love DoorDash so much.
I've only used it once.
Let's try and get the point there.
You can't get it in Argus unless it's McDonald's, which.
Hey, you know what? I'll tell you what. That DoorDash thing. The only problem is I don't think I could do it because trying to smell that food and go through that drive-thru and smell that the entire night, it's like I would be probably 400 pounds.
I've actually done DoorDash once. Someone ordered from Mi Caminos and they got queso. I'm like, could I get in trouble?
Open then just take a click.
If I just say,
don't ever do that. We're not saying do that. Please don't do that.
Because I'm like, that is just a bad temptation.
Great. I shouldn't talk about food again. Coco Sakis now goes back row, but thanks to Margo, she brought us dinner tonight. And Viers tips down the back row, and Kayden got me a pretzel earlier. Only because I bought him one. That's the reason why I went and got it. And trust me, I know how much that changes in your pocket, so.
Oh, he's like, I got to save that.
Oh, no. He may think he gets to sneak away with that. I don't think so, Tim. Coco Sakis back across, but I think we're going to do a double hit call on the Zebras. And try and get a point there. And Yarborough's over there. He's going to be waving to Kayden.
He just smiles.
Oh, nice play by Let to bring that one away from the net. Sorry, we got sidetracked on chicken sandwiches, Orion. Viers gets that one to drop.
I had my peanut butter pie.
Hey, you know what? I can talk about food anytime, anywhere, about any kind of food.
I can talk about cooking food. I don't really go out a lot.
See, and I've learned here as I've gotten older in my age here, not quite old, but as I've gotten older, I'm getting more willing to try the weird, goofy stuff.
Like sushi?
Oh, I like sushi.
I love
I am all about sushi. My mother-in-law makes the best sushi, I'm telling you.
Really?
Oh, man. Michelle tries it. I don't think she's watching. Hers is okay. But if Tammy makes it, oh, my gosh.
I'm not going to lie.
Mimi sushi's the best, isn't it, Kayden? You've had it. Don't give me that.
Aldi's has frozen. And I was skeptical about it, but it was actually pretty good. It wasn't too fishy for me.
I don't know. Triton gets another point. But, yeah, I'm starting to get more into this. I'm getting more experimentative with my food.
Curry, have you tried that?
I've yet to try the Indian place in Warsaw yet. I haven't gotten brave enough yet.
I've just had Thai coconut chicken curry over rice.
Okay.
I was really skeptical about it because, like, I grew up on a farm. Like,
oh, yeah, we
get potatoes and you get a veggie. Like,
that's pretty much how it was. Kinsey Atkins back across, back to volleyball action, and Triton going on quite a roll here. I think this might be good luck for them. We're talking about food, not talking about them. Sorry. It's been a long day. See, Kayden, I talk about food all the time at home, don't I? I'm like the Homer Simpson of food reviews, right? Except I don't make all the noises he makes. Oh, my goodness.
Hey, they are in a lead, so there we go.
There we are in the lead. And right now I got right there Addison trying to fire up her team. I love it. She must. You know what?
Just laughing at her.
I begin to think that the Viers girls, and you got to be awesome here. Every time I talked about every time I said something about Abby, I swear to God, she looked at me every single time. I would put money. Ask Orion. It's true. I started saying something about Abby, and she'd turn around and look at me and smile every single time. It's like she had an earbud in when she was playing.
She probably has a sense for that. Like, I don't know how it is, but she can always tell.
Addison's starting to do it now, too. It's kind of starting to freak me out a little bit. Starting to freak me out a little bit.
I'm not sure, because they can always, like, we'd be in the living room, and Abby would be, like, upstairs, and, like, we have a pretty big living room, so, like, we'd have to be, like, pretty deep, like, in the house to be talking about it. All of a sudden, I hear her yelling from upstairs, and I'm like, how did you hear? Like, I think she's listening through a vent or something, but then I'm like, no, there's no way. I think she just has a sixth sense about it.
Hey. So Addison back across. Let's see what they're trying to keep that roll going here at the timeout. Leap. Never mind. Drives it across. Plus point here for the Zebras.
But then if you're trying, you've got to find a way, okay, we're going to stop. We're going to get this next ball. Like, you can't let them get on a lead then of any kind. And they seem a little more lively now. Another hard serve to pass up, though. Oh.
Tipped up front.
Right in the middle.
He's even talking to his defense. You're leaving a hole right there, guys. They're going right for it.
Do you see what I mean? Like when there's always a spot in the middle open? It's the weirdest thing, and I don't get it. Even playing, I was like, there's no way I can cover that middle. You really can't. It's because then you all stop and you look at each other, and you're like, okay, who's going to get that ball? It's not me. Like.
So back to the food conversation.
No, I've heard no more food.
No more food from who?
They're going to sleep, I said.
Okay. Well, hey. Coco Sakis back across. Davis with the kill shot.
I guess I should tell him, give me a topic.
That's kind of what I said. Who's saying that?
Peanut Gallery.
Peanut Gallery. Well. Now it goes out of bounds.
They haven't offered any tech support tonight, so they're the Peanut Gallery.
Okay, works for me. Holloway back across. Viers dumps it across the attack line. Frant runs it down.
And see, that's really smart play because what you try to do when you're attacking from the front row, especially when you're coming from the left or trying to do any kind of little tip or anything, is you want to hit the setter. Because you take the setter out, you don't get that good set from anyone else. And it essentially like takes the power off of any kind of kill.
Now it goes out of bounds. It's Rochester coming back to life as Triton's got that lead. As Coleman will check in and go along the front row. Kylie Frant now to serve. Davis tips it across. Kokosakis back up front. Rochester keeps it alive. Viers across to Lena Dahl, who goes to the back row and gets a point there. Addison making some noise along that front line.
I think what's helping the Lady Trojans too is like I'm not going to be able to say her name, but when number 16 for Rochester is able to not, Kokosakis is not able to get that big, powerful hit that she has, they're able to then dig that ball better. Because when you are facing a senior player like she is, like, she knows exactly what she's doing, exactly where she's going, and she wants to get that kill.
Macy Hinsey now on the back row. Let's play by Kokosakis to drop it across, caught the defense. Pushes them around a little bit. Davis now as it Viers goes across, and that point drops in for Triton.
Hannah Snyder coming in.
And she'll go back to serve. Swing through on that one was Bollinger. Viers back across. Almost two players collide for Rochester as Addison Viers elevates and brings that one back down.
She got up a little bit. Like,
she was up there a little ways.
we talk about hang time when you do an approach, and you can notice when some players, like I noticed it a little bit with Mishawaka, but like sometimes those girls, when they get such a good approach, they hang in the air for a little bit.
Absolutely. Let into the block. Viers and Feldman along the front line. Addison
shoves Morgan a little bit.
I like the excitement. Addison trying to fire her teammates up, trying to force a fifth set.
Oh.
Viers tips it back across.
That's one thing we noticed in that very first game against John Glenn, because you have a freshman like Avery coming out. She's not going to be the most excited. She's going to be really tense, and we just noticed the one time Addison just shoved her and was like getting in her face and yelling, and I'm like, okay, whatever you got to do. It might have helped a little bit.
Let into the block on that one. Not strong enough as they get the point. Snyder across to Viers, swings it through. Holloway gets that one off the deflection. Let now back row.
So you got to try to position your body with the block to get in front of that ball and pass it up. You don't want to be swinging your arms, because then you have no idea where that ball's going to go then. But that's, again, freshman.
Triton had to wait patient. That was closer to that back line.
Good job for Kinsey Atkins, though. Like, she knows, like, that back row is her back row. Like, she knows exactly where that ball is going to go.
Kinsey and Hannah, I'm liking their communication, that back row between Snyder and Atkins.
Oh.
Atkins takes that one. Nice play by Kinsey to keep it alive, but it's on a pass on the wrong side of the antenna, and that one goes out of bounds. Substitution for Rochester. Up to Viers, back row. That one drops in for Avery Viers. Triton has not played in the fifth set yet this season. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't completely look for Rochester's. Her record wasn't up working last night, and it was here today. Now one going out of bounds. Atkins trying to push that back row. Look, we're making Alexis. She's starting to look up stuff.
I think I need to down. My dad has the app, like has the Max Prep app.
Oh, I got it.
I'm like, okay, Dad. Because I think you can also use it for gym class, I think is one thing that they use it for.
Gotcha. Addison Viers dumps it across. Kokosakis out the back row.
Says they're 2-4 overall. And then they haven't had any conference matches.
I'll tell you what, they're looking really good in this match. A timeout for Rochester. Coach Erin Lee wants to try to get her girls one more chance at a final push here to try to end this in 4 sets. But Triton right now in the driver's seat to push that 5th set. But earlier tonight, it went in 3 sets, extra sets for the JV, as Triton's JV pulled that one out 2 sets to 1. It was a hard-fought match for them, as they did good in that first one, and then Rochester came roaring back in the second, and then they handled business in the third.
And I think that was a very needed win for the JV girls, because when you're coming from 8th grade and like junior high essentially, and you haven't had fast play like this before, you all are kind of in the same boat. And so it's just trying to figure out like what you can do to help better yourselves and your team and even the other team, because they're in the same boat you are. And so it's and not to mention school has a lot of changes with it, and so very good win for them tonight.
So everybody's watching home, Kayden. That was your mother, just let me know.
He's so focused.
He's done a great job around the camera. He ran for football Friday night, so he's doing a really good job. Kayden's really liking doing this broadcasting stuff, as that one from Frant goes into the net on that one. 4 hits. Triton now 4 points away from forcing a 5th set. An ace for Addison Viers. It's Triton's 7th ace.
I wish we could leave our stuff set up for tomorrow.
Oh, I know. Sign can stay up though, right?
Yeah, I'll leave that up.
Viers back across through the block. Let back across. Coco Sakis now across for the Zebras as Addison Viers dumps to the back corner, but they're going to get a double hit call. As Evan's talking to her, yeah, you had that angle on that. That's going to be called. And Kennedy Leap now back to one of the seniors. Sends a line drive to the back row and gets an A. Oh, Mackenzie Atkins can try to bring that one back into place. Bulis now will rotate to the back row. And Jenna Bulis, I like her in the back row. She does some impressive things. I like that substitution, bringing her in back there. Davis too strong, out of bounds. Timeout for Triton. I think it's a good timeout there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a couple loud points Rochester just picked up, trying to make a push to the 5th set. I think this is a good spot for a timeout.
Absolutely, because then you're trying to get those girls to keep their heads up, and you're trying to get them just ready to go out and get this next point. And you're not nitpicking or anything, because then that's when sometimes they can overthink about some things.
This timeout, I mean, a timeout like this is to get yourself focused back up. Hey, it's all right. A few points. Take a breath. Try to kill the momentum for Rochester. At the same time, trying to build your girls up to get them a chance back on the floor. I really like that timeout in that situation.
Because then you see some smiling faces.
But Rochester, I mean, and rightly so, because Rochester has played extremely well here tonight. And an ace for Rochester right out of the timeout as Lena Dahl getting ready to check back in. You know, Rochester has impressed me all over the floor, how they move on the floor and how they communicate. You always see them talking to communicate, clapping up one another. I mean, and it's not just the girls on the floor, it's talking on the bench. It's back-to-back aces for Rochester as they're coming alive and making a push. Another timeout for Evelyn. It's back-to-back aces. Tries to focus him up in that back row. It's like, hey, you got to get yourself in position for that ball. I mean, when you're coming in that back row, I mean, is it better to sit there and try to do a bump pass, or is it better to try to do the stop and set?
You have more control when you bump the ball, essentially, because you have the platform, and it's a lot easier for you to move your feet. So one thing that I do see, like, especially with Kenzie, who is that senior leader, she doesn't have her arms together as she's looking to where she needs to set up. She has her arms apart a little bit because then she can move better. And that just allows you to have a quicker reaction time, because if your hands are in front of you, and not together, but like close enough, and you're able to move to that ball, you can get your hands together faster, and that's what makes a good pass. You don't have a lot of control when you're coming from your chest, because for one, it can get called for a lift, and two, it's not going to
It's an awkward angle. We're not going to get a good pass out of that. It makes sense. Kennedy Leap now driving it across. Atkins up front. A nice play there by Audrey Bullinger to get that one back across. The Zebras with a late charge here in this fourth set. Another ace as the Zebras, I believe, with 4 aces here on this run, climbs within 2.
Kenzie was even set and everything, and she knew where she wanted to go. But if you watch her spin on the ball, it's just a lot quicker, and it just has a lot more movement with it. And that is where, like, even if you have that good platform, one little move, and it can kind of send the ball.
And Kennedy Leap. Fortunately, that one goes in the net. Triton still alive now, 2 points away. But Rochester's knocking on the door. Coco Sakis back across. Atkins passing up to Viers. On up, here comes Lena Dahl. Tips it across, and Triton now 1 point away. Kayden's liking it down there in the corner. Avery Viers a chance for match point to force a 5th set. On up, Bullinger back across. Triton pushes to a 5th set, and this game is not over yet. So as they take a break, we will soon be right back here on the Triton Trojan Sports Network.
Hey, Dr. Elsperman, I believe one of the best ways to invest in a community is to encourage participation in high school sports.
I agree, Paul. High school sports can play a tremendous role in student athletes obtaining their first degree in life, a high school diploma. Ivy Tech Community College also plays a role by serving more than 70,000 Indiana high school students who are earning college credit while finishing high school.
High school athletics are all about setting students up for success in the classroom and in life, and that's especially important, considering less than 7% of student athletes play sports in college and even fewer receive scholarships.
At Ivy Tech, thousands of high school students complete their freshman year of college or first industry credential, giving them a head start on college and careers.
We appreciate the support of partners like Ivy Tech who invest in our student athletes, their education, and our communities.
This is championing education. This is investing in your community. This is your IHSAA.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
All right, as we get ready to get this 5th set underway. So as they get these lineups back underway. That was a good report there that Danny is doing good in school and she's having fun. That makes me feel pretty good.
Yeah.
And you know, Danny is really enjoying school. I tell you, she really embraces being a Triton Trojan. I mean, Danny's really starting to really have fun with it. Kayden is too. When he's awake, down there running the camera.
Is he having lunch buddies yet?
Yeah, he does. He has had some friends at lunch. I won't say any names. You awake down there? Okay.
Just see the head swing around like, yep.
All right, so first 1 to 15, win by 2, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And Viers with a loud point to start off this 5th set.
Do you think the first to 5 would be the first to 15?
I don't know, because Rochester can go on a big run. Triton hasn't had that big run yet.
What we always did, and something that kind of kept us involved in the game, first to 3. And then it's first to 5. And then you get the first to 10. And it just is all about building that lead. And, like, it makes you – because I remember we would always say, like, okay, we need 2 more to get this get this first to 5. Or, come on, we're down by 6. Let's get at least 2 points here. Like, it's all about then getting that momentum going. And, like, you have a goal.
And Addison Viers gets that second one. Oh, they're going to say she crossed over the net. And the point belongs to Rochester.
Like, was it?
I think they're saying she was. I think she was up over top.
Might have to look at that again because I know there is a rule that if the setter is in the middle of setting, you cannot block the setter because you want that pass on that net, and that's where that setter is supposed to be. But you cannot come over and block that ball.
Atkins back rows. Triton nails it up, knots it up at 2. Late back across. Macy Hensley in position to pass it. Viers rolls it across. Caught the defense. Addison adjusts her shot. Really drew the defense to the net and just rolled it right over top. A good play by Addison.
That was a tough one. You had to come all the way across your body.
Kokosekis had a back pedal on that one. Viers bumps it across. Let now back up. Lead through the defense. Kenzie Atkins couldn't quite dig it back up. Knotted up at 3. It's been a nail biter all the way through this whole match. Wouldn't expect it any other way.
Those first 3 points, they've always been matched every set.
And that one drops in an ace for Rochester. Big point there for the Zebras. Triton's got to respond. Here's dumps it across the back row, and how to show, too tall. And Kenzie Atkins down there, I mean, you could hear in your headset, we need one. Come on, guys, just need one. One at a time, one at a time. And try to get all those points back in one shot. Viers with an ace. I believe that's her 8th one of the evening. Bollinger back across. Atkins stops. Viers on up. Atkins now back across. Drops it in, and Triton, a big 2-point swing for them. Even a little tweak to Kenzie, trying to tell her where to put that ball. Give a little more control on where I think is where he's kind of coming from on that one. Viers with a line drive to the back row to how to shell. Bollinger sets it across. Viers brings it back into play. Davis reaches up and knocks it down. Maya Davis, another nice play.
Mm-hmm.
Addison again, a nice line drive serve to the back row to Frant. To Bollinger, knocks it across. Atkins stops it. Viers keeps it alive. Lena Dahl has to pass it across. It's deep and too strong. Rochester still alive. Coleman goes to the front row. Out there with Bollinger and Kokosekis in the front row with Lett, Holloway, and France serving out there for Rochester. Atkins rolls it across strong, but out of bounds. Down by 1.
In this moment, I think for both teams, because Triton has gone on that run now, and you could kind of see where Rochester was getting a little frustrated making those mistakes. I think for both teams, what they need to utilize right now is just they've played almost 5 whole sets with them. They know each other's play. They need to slow it down a little bit, especially if you're getting little mistakes.
Maya Davis goes across. Lett gets it. Kokosekis back across. Atkins brings it back into play. Macy Hensley. Kill shot for Macy Hensley. A loud point coming from that far corner.
They haven't had a lot of attacks out in that right corner or in that right front row there.
And trying an attack formation as they're really starting to swing away. As Emma Sells will check in. Holloway takes that one weird, an ace. And Avery Viers, of course, the team's ace leader coming into this one. Avery Viers to go again. Kokosekis backpedals, brings that one back in. Viers back up. Atkins calling for the pass. Now to Dahl back across. Kokosekis again. Viers gets down. Davis gets it back across. Atkins passing it. Viers on up. Here comes Lena Dahl. Swings it through. The block's not strong enough. She cracks the wall and cracks their way to do the double-digit mark. And a timeout for Rochester. As Aaron Leaf trying to kill the momentum for Triton as she trails by 4. But Rochester very capable of digging deep and coming back in a hurry.
They keep that scrappiness to the end. Like, we have not seen them lose hustle once.
And if you're Triton, you keep your foot on the gas and you don't let go. Do that again, I'm going to tell him put that camera over there.
He's falling asleep over there.
He starts dancing again. We're going to get the camera on him. I didn't say what kind of dance you were doing. I'm just saying the camera will end up over there. I'm just saying, son. It'll happen. That's why I try not to do anything embarrassing on camera.
Just the stare down.
Looks can kill. That was one of them. Avery Viers back to serve. Her team leading by 4. The final push coming here in this 5th and final set. Viers drives it across. Holloway stops it. Coleman, back row. Lena Dahl dumps it across. Miscommunication, and Rochester can't recover. Triton now 4 points away. And the remaining football players still fired up. Must have had homework to do, right? Here's strong serve the back row, and an ace for the freshman coming up big with ice water in her veins. She'll like that.
They listen to the games once they get home. Like, that's something Addison's always done since her freshman year. Like, she will go home and watch the game.
Oh, I saw it. I've seen pictures. Coleman couldn't quite get that one to clear. Triton now 2 points away.
She did make fun of me the first time talking on here. I went over there that night, and she goes, "You sound weird." And I'm like, well, I'm not going to sound the exact same.
Well, no, you always sound a little bit different than you talk in real life. It's kind of one of those things.
What was the JV score tonight? I got them.
JV score, they won 2 sets to 1. They won the opening set 25-11, lost the second set 25-23, and then won that third and final set 15-4 to improve to 2-2 on the season. Back-to-back wins for the JV. It's Coach Baker getting her junior varsity back in sync.
And we're right back here tomorrow night.
We're right back here tomorrow night as Bremen will come in, travel south down on 331 to.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Pretty much. Same time. I'll do my best to get here as fast as I can. If not, Kayden, if you don't have a lot of homework, pal, you need to be here to set up at least. All right. Viers now. Line drive shot back to Sells in the back row. Let back on up. Coleman now tips it across through the block. Atkins tracks it down. Lena Dahl calls for on the front line, rolls it across. Kukosakis sets it back up, calling for right back on that far side corner. She'll swing through, and the kill shot for Rochester. (13-7's our score. Kukosakis now to serve again. Maya Davis trying to slam it down with authority. But couldn't quite, a little too strong, goes out of bounds.
That was a good idea, though, on her part.
She saw an empty spot. It was good. You got to be a little bit earlier on that jump.
And really, that's just rotating rotating her shoulders more and getting on top of the ball more.
Dahl goes the front side corner. Kukosakis now to let. Through the block. Viers calls for the pass. Lena Dahl back row. Sells brings it back into play. On up. Coleman tips it across. That one close to the net, and no one can make the play.
That was a good timeout by Rochester.
Timeout by Coach Evans. He sees trouble. Is that front line. Got to tighten it back up.
I think that's exactly what Coach Evelyn's doing in this timeout. He's trying to bring them all back together. Look, you are only 2 points away. You just need to respond like you know how.
And he's talking back there. He goes, get your approaches down.
Mm-hmm.
Get those good swings to drive back across. And Coach Leap down here telling her group to defend. We've gone on a run before. We've gone on a run down more than this, and we've came back roaring back. And she's telling her girls to stay fired up, communicate, keep playing together on that floor. Atkins passing it. Viers off to dump it across. Bullinger, strong, but Atkins stops it on the back line. Lena Dahl through the block. Kokosekis keeps it alive. Sells, passing it on top to Let, who goes to the back row. Lena Dahl tips it across, but not enough.
It's a good idea, though. It really is, because I think what they've been, like Lena, I think has noticed throughout the game, that their left front is wide open, and all you need to do is really a little tip or a little push, and they're not going to be able to get it.
Wester pushing it across to Lena Dahl, back row to Sells. Kokosekis to Let back through the block. Viers now up top. Addison setting it across to Lena Dahl, tips it across and drops it in. Triton now 1 point away. Coach even liked that. Now Macy Hensley with a big serve coming here as Morgan Feldman rotates in for Kinsey Atkins. As Macy Hensley back to serve, match point for the Trojans. Hensley drops to the back row to Holloway. Bullinger back across. Viers stops it. Westaver passing up to Lena Dahl, a chance to end it. Back row to Sells. Kokosekis with the set. Let back across. Rochester not done yet. Lena Dahl is on the way through. Kokosekis hit it. It's back across. Nice bailout by Rochester. Macy Hensley back across. Oh my goodness, what a play by Rochester. Coleman now.
Go!
Nobody's talking and let it end up. A big break for Rochester as that long volley.
Got so invested.
Evan's like, how many do I got left? He said, I'm going to use it. Oh my goodness. Everybody's like, go for it. So it's like the sea parted and everybody just watched it drop. It's like slow motion.
That one player came out on me when I was like, go!
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that got the heart racing a little bit.
Orion, just so you know, loves overtime.
Really?
It's his most favorite thing in the whole wide world. Oh, man. So Atkins, Avery, and Addison Viers in the back row. Westaver, Dahl, and Feldman along the front line. Leap, Let, and Coleman the front row. Kokosekis back there with Sells and Holloway to serve for Rochester. Down by 3. Match point still for Triton. Feldman through, blocked up front. Atkins brings it back into play. Drops it in, and Triton wins! Yeah. 15-11, the final set. As the Trojans go through on hey, you talk about a well-fought match. These two teams, nobody has a chance to hang their head because Rochester played an outstanding match here tonight. Triton won that opening set 25-20. And Rochester took command of the second and third sets, winning 25-10 and 25-17 respectively. Triton was backed into a corner, 25-20. They dug deep in that fourth set to make sure they had a chance to play in this fifth one. And you saw what they did here as they pulled it out there by 4 as Triton improves now to 3-1 on the season. So we got some conversations that be had here after the match here. So tomorrow night we'll be back here live at the Trojan Trenches. Triton welcomes in Bremen. So until next time, I'm Andy O'Hara with Alexa Viers, Kayden Hummitch, and the Hall of Famer Orion Lemler. And until next time, remember the Trojan way.